Welcome back, everyone. Well, nobody's going to deny that we live in a world right now where it is moving so rapidly that there's amazing convergence and a lot of skill sets out there. As many of you know, we're working with Hudson Valley Community College and TechSmart at the TechSmart campus on a program that's devoted to the students and what they're learning. Well, we were down there this week and we heard a term that we hadn't really heard before, and come to find out that there is a lot of information about a new degree program at Hudson Valley Community College that we just really want you to know about. The term is called mechatronics. And sitting with me today is Norm. We met.
Yes.
I did that. I got it.
All right. You did good.
How are you, Norm?
How you doing?
Good. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Now, Norm is an associate professor at Hudson Valley Community College and one of the people responsible, kind of in a lead role, right, Norm, in developing this program around mechatronics.
I worked with the Dean of Technologies to help to develop this project, along with several other people who assisted.
I got you. All right, let's do a couple of things here for our viewers. Mechatronics, it's a term that we hadn't heard, we didn't understand what it meant. What is it?
Mechatronics, in a nutshell, takes mechanical skills, electrical skills, and skills in many other disciplines, such as computers and process control equipment, and blends it all into one discipline.
Well, that sounds like quite an undertaking.
It is.
You know, in looking at the materials before we went on air, it's electrical, mechanical, computers, process control, and robotics.
Correct.
This is that's quite a list.
Yes,
and quite an agenda. So in the convergence of some of these skills, first tell me why that's important in today's.
The reason it's important in today's world is because manufacturers in a modern factory today, there are so many different pieces of equipment that blend all of this into like one large machine, say, and they can't afford to have 10 different technicians, you know, that they have to call this one for that problem, this one for that problem. They want to be able to hire technicians and say, okay, you are responsible for this machine. You need to keep it running. If anything breaks down, you need to be able to fix it, no matter whether it's computer related, electrical, mechanical, whatever. And you know, that's why this particular degree is going to be very much, already is very much in demand and will be very much in demand for several years to come.
Right, you know, you just think about that. We opened with talking about the rapid rate of advancement in this in the world, really, in terms of technology and whatever, that there really isn't a simple piece of machinery out there that doesn't involve some kind of electrical, mechanical, computers, right, processing, understanding, and robotics of all things, right?
Absolutely, and in order to understand robotics, you need to understand all the others. Robotics, they are electrical, they're mechanical, they use hydraulics. So if you understand all those other disciplines, you can then adapt that to the robotics. And of course, robotics, there's a program that runs the robot, so there's computer related as well.
So this degree, you went and you said, hey, you know, I've got this idea that we want to offer a degree in mechatronics. How'd it go over?
Well, it went real well. Well, I presented it to the dean, and you know, I explained to him that I had been seeing this getting more and more popular over the last several years. And then he investigated a little bit and came back a couple of weeks later and said, you know, you're right, I've been hearing this term myself. And so the rest is history. We decided to go ahead with it, and hopefully, you know, we're going to be, well, not hopefully, we are starting the degree program this fall, the fall of 2015.
And this is a 2-year degree, correct?
It
Which
is
gives you the opportunity to
Absolutely.
develop this skill set, go immediately into the workforce if you want, or to take this and further your education if you want.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's why we decided to make it an AAS degree, which is an Associate in Applied Science degree, because that degree gives you both of those choices, either go get a job or continue on to a 4-year institution.
Well, you know, any of the viewers know that we here at Look TV have always been trying to talk about practical solutions. You know, you and I went to school where you walked out of school and you had, you know, student loans for the next 20-something years. Well, we don't live in that world anymore, right, Norm?
Nobody can afford to live in that world anymore. That's the problem.
You're right. So here's an opportunity to learn a skill set and the convergence of a number of skill sets.
Absolutely.
Have a degree and immediately
go out and earn a
employable.
living, or if you can afford to go for 2 more years, it's great. You can then transfer to a 4-year institution, go get a bachelor's degree if you have the wherewithal to be able to do that. If not, go get a job after 2 years, and you know, they're pretty decent paying jobs.
Yeah, I think before we went on air, Norm and I were talking about this, and the median range for a wage starts at like $52,000 a year. So that's, you want to know something? That's not bad to go to school for a couple of years, learn a skill set that's cutting edge, and being able to be immediately employable. One other thing, you tend to think of education as being a well-rounded education. And you say to yourself, well, I'd also like to be able to live in an area. Now, we're lucky. We live in a beautiful part of the country. We also happen to live in an area where the industry coming in this area and in this area has a specific need for this, right?
This degree fits in perfectly with the whole Tech Valley initiative.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening in Tech Valley here in the whole greater Albany area, this degree fits in perfectly with that. There are so many manufacturing facilities coming into the area and support facilities, and this fits very well with that whole scenario.
I've got it. Norm, this is really something, and I hope that the viewers out there getting the drift of this, because if you're looking to change a career, further your education, find something that allows you to live in the community that we live in and immediately be employable with an exciting skill. I'm thinking to myself, if you can combine electrical, mechanical, robotics, computer, and processing, that's a pretty challenging career.
It is challenging. It's probably not for everybody, obviously,
Yeah.
and it does require a disciplined approach, but the rewards are well worth it.
Yeah, and somewhat immediate too. So, at any rate, you can contact Hudson Valley Community College, and that's really where you should go to try to find out more information about this. Norm, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to you soon more about the Rolling Stones. Can we talk about the Rolling Stones?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about Keith Richards again. That'd be great.
Okay. Thank you, Norm. To see this interview again, please head to our website, looktvonline.com.